I would imagine that it's easier to take your online player into a bricks and mortar environment on the basis of the fact that, and I know the bingo industry have done this relatively well. The idea of, it's the kind of bingo's a new rock and roll, and I've been to events where you bingo at night, which is more like a kind of stag meets hen party with cabaret and a little bingo thrown in. But I would imagine it's an easier ask to take people from the online world to a bricks and mortar. Would you agree with that?
Again, not necessarily. There's a lot of things that happen in the offline bingo world that don't happen in the online bingo world. The online bingo world, you can sit there and smoke it. You can't do that offline any longer. Yeah, so that's a huge change, and important to a lot of our online players for sure. There's also this community sigh when the game ends. You don't get that same kind of thing. You don't in offline. There's not a whole lot of chatter between the players. And online, that's what it's about. You're talking to your friends. You're talking to a chat moderator, and the bingo's going on. But there's a whole other thing going on. And in fact, if you play bingo and the chat functionality is broken, or you're in a room where it doesn't exist, it's not as an interesting experience at all. It is for some players love that, but as an online bingo player myself, you're there for the chat. You're there because you're interacting with live human beings playing the same game at the same time, and there is a sense of community that comes from that, which is different than the sense of community that you get in the offline world. So it is two very different experiences, to be sure, under the same brand. And I'm finding our players enjoy both kinds.
In the online world, where you've created that social community, is it predominantly a female type conversation that's going on?
No, it's predominantly. If female means gossipy and personal, and I've got a new boyfriend kind of thing, because a lot of that is going on for sure. Or the topics are, should I get this dog, or should I name my cat, or what should I name my kid, or I've been in the hospital. So I think stereotypically you'd say that it's gossipy. Yeah, it's neighbors chatting over fences, except that it's done in an online bingo room with a chat moderator, and the chat moderator does more than moderate chat. He actually contributes, encourages, discusses, and they become great friends, just as our VIP hosts do as well. They become great friends with our players. They like each other on Facebook, and they really all get to know each other. It's an interesting phenomenon. It's very unlike every other spectrum of gaming. Bingo is, if you look at the players' average age, every single sports betting number, it goes from a high number in 18 and then all the way down. And then the number of players as you get older just goes down, down, down. Except bingo. Bingo is the only one that goes up. There are more people playing as you get older. So that's true online as well as offline.
The focal point for bricks and mortar bingo is the caller, and the caller will have their own kind of personal following. The caller there'll be some customers who only play when there's a certain caller doing it through superstition. Does the moderator fulfill the role of the bingo caller?
In many dimensions, yes. Yeah, it's because you don't need to call the number because your card is automatically dabbed. You don't need to be hearing it. So in that way, yes, but the moderator brings out a lot more too, and a great moderator will really galvanize a room and really energize a room and make it a really super experience. Hey, someone cares about me. Someone's listening to me. Someone's talking to me. Somebody remembers that I have a dog that was sick and oh yes, he's better now. Thank you very much. That means a lot to our players, and that means a lot. There's a lot of people don't have that kind of social interaction any longer. You don't have the town halls and the town greens where everyone's sitting around and playing checkers and whatnot. Those days have largely gone away. And one of the places that you can find that kind of socialization is in your online bingo room.
Historically, in the UK, the bingo industry, bricks and mortar bingo industry, actually hated the fact that they were classified as gaming. They didn't see themselves as being gaming at all because their players didn't perceive it as being gaming.
That's right.
Would you say that's the same as that kind of vibe, sort of like translated over into the online world as well?
Absolutely.
Not perceived as gaming.
Absolutely. We're playing bingo. We're not gaming. We're gambling. No, I'm playing bingo, and it's a great view. It's not an unhealthy view either. It's amusement with some sort of payment occasionally, with amusement with reward. And it's entertainment. It's a form of entertainment, and arguably all forms of gaming are that, but bingo in particular, where you have very little choice, very little control. You know, you get assigned numbers, and the numbers are called, and you win or you lose. It's not like blackjack where you're saying, you know, hit or twist or stay, or twist or stick, or picking, you know, oh, give me black, or give me 28, or you don't have that level of control. Even in slots, you can say, I want 1 line, 2 line, 3 lines, 5 lines.
It's quite interesting again in the UK that there was a Conservative MP for Northampton North who became aficionado of bingo, and he in hindsight was quoted as saying that the bingo clubs fulfil a social role to deal particularly with social exclusion of the elderly, of older people who aren't necessarily mobile. And he said that bingo fulfilled functions which a lot of government departments failed to do. Do you think that's the same in the online world as well? That has a big social role in kind of including people within communities who would otherwise not have a voice?
Well, probably less so than the offline, the land-based bingo estate, which does have that function. It is the working man's club for women, yeah. And of course, women can go to the working man's club as well. But there's a very special environment in the bingo hall, in the community bingo hall. Online, you have lots of alternatives and lots of other places that you could possibly go and have some degree of interaction. But I think here you've got common interests. Largely a similar demographic. The age ranges from 18 to 85, but the fact that it's all hanging off of bingo and it's individuals interacting with other individuals is not unique online, but it's a very important component of the service that we provide.
That kind of the integration of offline and online gaming experiences is designed for massively strong brands like Gala, isn't it?
Well, absolutely. Multi-channel is going to come out of big, strong brands. They're the ones with the greatest need. They're the ones with to prevent what happened to HMV, Blockbuster, Jessup's, right? They need to become multi-channel. John Lewis is doing a fantastic job in retailing. I think Gala Bingo is doing a fantastic job in gaming of becoming increasingly multi-channel. So players can play whatever way they're most comfortable, and we're able to facilitate that play. Whether they're in the bingo hall or at home or they're on the go now, of course. I got into this business about over 12 years ago. I got into online gaming specifically because I wanted to see how you could have a 360-degree view of your player wherever they're playing. So if they're playing on interactive TV, or they're playing on the web, or they're playing on their phone, or they come into the club, or they come into the shop if it's a betting shop kind of operation. I knew that would become amalgamated, and there would be a single view of that customer, and as well there should be, because you want to take care of that customer across all those channels. And it's taking 12 years to get there, but Gala Bingo is actually doing it now, and it's very exciting.
I think it's a very interesting analogy that you made with the difference between those really well respected, but now sadly in if not demised in kind of remission, high street brands who haven't prepared for the future. But the online world is an example. Would you agree of Gala preparing for not just for the next decade, but for the next 50 years and onwards?
Absolutely, absolutely. Gala Bingo is a huge brand on the high street. Over 138 clubs up and down the country, and luckily we have a CEO of the group, Carl Lever, who gets it. He's got the vision. He completely understands multi-channel. He completely understands the online world, and he completely understands the need to bring those together. So it's being driven from the top down. It's bought into across the organization that multi-channel is the future of the organization, and it has to be, and it's appropriate.
I suppose also, sorry, my penultimate question, that with the demise of the high street in the UK, I mean the high street in some areas, I think overall the number of shop vacancies on the British high street is something like 16%, which is like nearly 1 in 5 shops are vacant. With the demise of the high street, and you can't see it getting any better, to be honest, is the existence of a strong online proposition a kind of insurance policy for the future for the brand?
Well, because the experiences are so different, going to the club versus playing online, and the kinds of players are radically different as well. Although there's more overlap than most people suspect. I'm less pessimistic about the demise of the high street. First of all, I think that you're seeing industries that are getting disintermediated, such as we've seen with music and now movies and film processing. Those technologies are they've gone away, and so there's no need for Jessup's to be there or HMV to be there. You're going to get those same needs exist, but they're being fulfilled digitally differently. Likewise, in bingo and in e-gaming, you've got the same needs that you want to do it, but the experience is different. So what you're going to see happen in the UK high streets, in my humble opinion, is a lot of these retailers or a lot of these other service offerings where the product can be disintermediated and can be delivered digitally. They have less of an opportunity to be to have a profitable retail business. But other companies that are more experiential, such as bingo and casinos, can still survive on the high street because it's a big night out and it's a lot of fun, and you can't quite simulate that at home. You don't get the same thing at home. You get a different experience, but it's if you want to go to a bingo hall, there's nothing beats going to a bingo hall. If that's what you're into. Likewise, there are people now opening tanning salons, and they're opening cupcake shops, and the cupcakes that you unbelievably sweet, and you can't buy them unlike anywhere else. And I've seen it on my high street in Chiswick. It's like, wow, this makes sense. Now retailing is becoming experiential and more of a service industry largely than buying commodity products. And so I wouldn't kiss the British high street goodbye quite yet. I think it's going to change significantly, but still be a very exciting place to be, and I think Gala Bingo will still be on it.
Obviously, we've got ICE conferences up here, and we've got the exhibition downstairs. What do you think of the marriage between the two? Do you think it's important to be able to engage in debate with your peers and with people from different sides of the fence, the regulators, the people from the European Commission, etc., and then be able to go downstairs and actually see the kind of ethereal stuff that you're debating put into action on the show floor?
Yeah, no, I think it makes perfect sense, and I'm glad that there's an extra day of exhibitions because I've been tied up in the conference all day, so I haven't been able to go down and see what everybody's pushing these days, so I look forward to that, and that's quite experiential as well. You can sit at home and read your magazines and go to the websites and whatnot, but when you come to a trade show like this, an exhibition like this, a conference like this, it is a different experience, and it's a lot more engaging, and you're a lot more focused on it. You're not dealing with phone calls and emails 24/7 all the time. You can actually be focused on what's happening in the industry, and so I think it's great that Clarion brings us all together to make this happen.